guys, welcome to KB School Education. Today I am going to say the unit number 7 of class 10, that is a nation and diversity. So in the unit number 7 there are 3 readings, A reading, B reading as well as C reading. So today I am going to say the A reading, that is my childhood. So here in this theme they wanna know about that someone's childhood they wanna share with us. So let us know whose childhood days they wanna share, okay? I was born into a middle class Tamil family in the island town of Rameshwaram in the erstwhile Madras state. My father Jainulladdin had neither much formal education nor much wealth. Despite these disadvantages, he possessed great innate wisdom and a true generosity of spirit. He had an ideal helpmate in the mother, Ashiamma. I do not recall the exact number of people she fed every day, but I am quite certain that far more outsiders ate with us than all members of our own family put together. So what they are saying, his father name was Jainulladdin and his mother name was Ashiamma. So his father was not much formal education, it's just a formal education, and despite of his wealth. So his mother is Ashiamma. So his mother was Ashiamma. So what he is saying about his mother, she cooks very nicely, and how much she cooks, she fed to every people, not only the family members, about the villagers, outsider relatives and other despite persons will come to their house for eating. So she fed many times, so no exact number had been given how much she fed to the people. So no disadvantages were there. So he born in a Tamil family of a Madras state in the Rameshwaram. I was one of the children, a short boy with a rather undistinguished look. Born to all and handsome parents, we lived on our ancestral house, which was built in the middle of the 19th century. It was a fairly large pakka house made of limestone and brick on the Mersk Street in Rameshwaram. My austere father, who used to avoid all essential comforts and luxuries. However, all necessities were provided for in terms of food, medicines or cloth. In fact, I would say mine was a very secure childhood, both materially and emotionally. So what he is saying, he in the 19th century they built a house. So it was ancestral house which was built by pakka house, limestone, brick and etc. So he was the shortest children. So he was a distinguished look and handsome. So he had the handsome parents, he was saying. So every time what he need, clothes, etc., medicines, food and anything if he need, the parents used to brought for him. So he is saying that lucky to have them, okay. So he is saying that my childhood is very very happiest childhood, both materially and physically, okay. The Second World War broke out in 1939 and I was at 8 years old. For reasons I have never been able to understand, a sudden demand for tamarind seeds erupted in the market. I used to collect the seed and sell them in a provision shop on Mersk Street. A day's collection would fetch me the princely sum of an anna. So my brother-in-law Jainulladdin would tell me stories about the World War which would later attempt to trace the headlines in a Dinamani. So what is saying, at the Second World War 1939, his brother-in-law Jainulladdin. So at that time there was a demand of tamarind seeds. So he could not able to understand why this demand had been raised. So from these many days there is no demand in the market, but now why it had been raised, okay. And so his brother-in-law would tell the stories of World War I, who some person. So okay, and our area being isolated was completely unaffected by the war, but soon India was forced to join the Allied forces and something like a state of emergency was declared. So soon that he is saying that in our country there is a world war, but not in our area, but soon it had been also affected to our area. So emergency was declared in our India. Okay, the first casualty came in the form of a suspension of the train halt at Rameshwaram station. The newspaper now had to be bundled and thrown out from the moving train on the Rameshwaram road between Rameshwaram and Dhanushkoti. That forced my cousin Samsuddin, who distributed papers in Rameshwaram, to look for a helping hand to catch the bundings. And if it naturally filled the slot, Samsuddin helped me carry the first wages. Half a century later, I still can feel the surge of pride in earning my own money for the first time. So what he is saying, he used to take the bundles of a newspaper and thrown from the station road to the Rameshwaram to Dhanushkoti. So for not only him, his friend he used to help for him. wages of his salary. So he felt that I am proud to earn my first salary. Every child is born with some inherited characteristics into specific social, economic and emotional environment and trained in a certain ways by figures of authority. I inherited honesty and self-discipline from my father, and from my mother I inherited faith in goodness and deep kindness, and so my 3 brothers and sisters. So what he is saying, every childhood had some specific different characteristic. So I as I am a child, I also learned some figure of authorities. So he is saying that I learned self-discipline from his father and goodness and deep kindness from his mother. He had 3 brothers and 1 sister. So I had 3 close friends in my childhood. So who had the three close friends? Some person that had been based on the total childhood days of the person. So he had the 3 childhood friends. Okay, Ramananda Shastri, Arvindan and Shiva Prakashan. These 3 are his close friend when of his childhood. Okay, all these boys were from Orthodox Hindu Brahmin families. As children, none of us ever felt any difference amongst ourselves because of our religious differences and upbringing. In fact, Ramananda Shastri was the son of Pakshi Lakshmana Shastri, the high priest of a Rameshwaram temple. Later, he took over the priesthood of a Rameshwaram temple from his father. Arvindan went to the business of arranging transport for visiting pilgrims, and Shiva Prakashan became a catering contractor for the Southern Railway. So what he is saying, 3 friends are Ramananda Shastri, Arvindan and Shiva Prakashan. So these 3 are and these boys from Brahmin. So okay, these boys are from Brahmin. So as they are children, they never felt the differences between their caste and religion. Okay, in fact, Ramananda Shastri he is the son of Lakshmana Shastri, who is a priest in a temple. Okay, and Arvindan was arranging the transport of pilgrims, and Shiva Prakashan is a contractor of Southern Railways. Okay. During the annual Sri Sita Rama Kalyanam ceremony, our family used to arrange boats with a special platform for carrying idols of the Lord from the temple to the marriage site, situated in the middle of a pond called Ramatrita, which was near our house. Events from the Ramayana and from the life of the prophet were the bedtime stories my mother and grandmother would tell me, the children in our family. So what he is saying, at the time of Rama Kalyana ceremony, their family used to carry the statue of a Lord idols for the marriage arrangement, and they will go to the temple. Okay, so his mother and his grandmother used to say the stories while he was sleeping. One day when I was a 5th standard at the Rameshwaram Elementary School, a new teacher came to our class. I used to wear a cap with which marked me as a Muslim, and I always sat in the front row next to the Ramananda Shastri, who wore the skate thread. The new teacher could not stomach a Hindu priest's son sitting with a Muslim boy. In accordance with our social ranking, as the new teacher saw it, I was asked to go and sit on the back bench. I felt very sad, and so did Ramananda Shastri. He looked utterly downcast as I shifted to my seat in the last row. The image of him weeping as when I shifted last row and lasting impression on me. So what he's saying, so when he was a fifth class, so he was in the Rameshwaram Elementary School. So a teacher came to him, and he was wearing a white cap who will wear Muslim persons. So okay, as he is a Muslim, he wore the white cap. So his friend Ramananda Shastri and they both will sit beside each other. So what his teacher thought, she can't digest by seeing both of them, because one is a Brahmin and one is a Muslim. So what she did, Ramananda, that Muslim boy took him, and she said to sit in the last bench. So they both felt very sad and weeping very utterly. Okay. After school, we went home and told our respective parents about the incident. Lakshmana Shastri summoned the teacher in our presence, told the teacher that he should not spread the poison of social inequality and communal intolerance in the mind of innocent children. So as he went to the school, went to the home, this boy said to his parents about this incident which happened, that Muslim boy and a Brahmin boy can't sit with each other. So teacher said that to sit in the last bench. So here they said that inequality rising between persons. Okay, he bluntly asked the teacher to either apologize or quit the school and the island. Not only did the teacher regret his behavior, but the strong sense of conviction Lakshmana Shastri conveyed, ultimately reforming his young teacher. So when they decided that if you wanna stay in this school, just don't raise this inequalities between two persons, or else quit the school, they said, by his behavior of the teacher. On the whole, the small society of Rameshwaram was very rigid in the terms of the segregation of different social groups. However, my science teacher Sivasubramaniam Iyer, though an orthodox Brahmin with a very conservative wife, was something of a rebel. He did the best to break social barriers to the people from varying background, could mingle easily. He used it to house with me and would say, Kala, I want to develop, you are the one pair with a highly educated people of big cities. So who is that person that's saying about this lesson, childhood days? He is the Abdul Kalam. So okay, what he is saying, Abdul Kalam, I had a teacher named Shiva Subramaniam Iyer. So his wife is very conservative, very good. So what he is saying, Kalam was saying that you are the best teacher with the social barriers. So Shiva Subramaniam Iyer is saying that you are the good student, you need to develop a pair, and you should be an educated person with big cities, he is saying. Okay, one day he invited me to his home for a meal. His wife was horrified at the idea of a Muslim boy being invited to dine in her ritually pure kitchen. She refused to serve me in her kitchen. Shiva Subramaniam Iyer was not perturbed, nor did not get any angry by his wife, but instead served me with his own hands and sat down beside me to eat his meal. His wife watched us from behind the kitchen door. I wondered whether she had observed any difference in the way I ate rice, drank water, or cleaned the floor after the meal. So one day his teacher has invited Kalam to his meal for having meal in his kitchen. So what his wife has been shocked and scared by seeing that she too also is like a teacher. How the teacher can't digest by a Brahmin and a Muslim. So she also same like that. So she was just shocked why in my pure kitchen why the Muslim boy came and eating. Okay. So after being this, but who Kalam Subramaniam Iyer didn't perturbed by seeing that. So he came and sat beside the Kalam and having the meal. So what his wife did, his wife was went in a kitchen room and she was observing the both of them behind the kitchen door. When I was leaving his house, Shiva Subramaniam Iyer invited me to join him for dinner again in the next weekend. Observing the hesitation, he told me not to get upset, saying, once you decided to change the system, such problems have to be confronted. When I visited his house the next week, Shiva Subramaniam Iyer's wife took me inside her kitchen and served me food with her own hands. So okay, after having the lunch, he just left the room and he was going. So his sir said that don't get disturbed by my wife's behavior. If you want to do anything in your life, you need to overcome such confronts which you need to face it. So once again in the next weekend you have to come to the dinner. So he came and at that time his wife with her own hands she served to Kalam. Okay, then the Second World War was over and India's freedom was imminent. Indian will build their own India, declared Gandhiji. So after the Second World War we got the freedom and this was declared by Gandhiji. The whole country was filled with an optimism. I asked my father for permission to leave Rameshwaram and study at the district quarters in the Ramantapuram. So what Kalam decided, I want to leave this Rameshwaram and I need to study more educated at the pilgrims. He told me, as if you told a Lord Abdul, I know you are going to grow. Does the seagull not fly across the sun alone and without a nest? He quoted Khalil Gibran to my hesitant mother. Your children are not your children. They are the sons and daughters of life longing for itself. They come through and not birth from you. You may give them your love, but not your thoughts. They have their own thoughts. So what APJ Abdul Kalam is saying that I need to study more at the more educated family. As our educated family, I need to work hard for my parents and for my life. So I am not this daughter, I am not this son. So I need to overcome from all those problems. So this is the chapter My Childhood. I think you understood this chapter. If you liked this video, don't forget to subscribe our channel.